and welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, here with your readings for November the 11th through November the 17th. If you're new, welcome. I really hope you enjoy these readings and that you'll come back. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your loyalty and your support. I really appreciate you. Thank you for your likes, comments, shares, and for all the new subscribers too. Now, these are general readings, guys. They are for the collective. So please take what resonates and leave the rest. They come in 3 sections. The intro, which is this, the astrological report, and then the tarot reading. And there are timestamps below in the show more section. If you have a phone, it's a little arrow pointing down, click on that and all the information is in there. It's also for your sun, moon and rising, so you will find the links to the other videos in that section too. So listen, as I said before, it's for the collective, these readings. So if you would like a more tailored, in-depth, personalized reading, please click on this link here, which will take you to my website and you can look at the kind of readings that I offer. What else? Yes, I have a Facebook group, guys, and that Facebook group, it's a private group. You have to ask to be to get in, to be included, and that link is below too. Now, in that Facebook group, it's a really positive environment. People post positive things, and then every 2 weeks I do a live feed specifically for my Facebook group, and in that it correlates every 2 weeks. It correlates with the new moon and the full moon, and we look at how anybody who attends the live feed, we look at their horoscope and how they're receiving the energies from the new moon or the full moon respectively. And I also have tarot cards on hand and I answer questions. We hang out for about an hour and we really enjoy ourselves. So if you would like that, this link to that will be below also, so check that out. And another way to support this channel and my creative content is through Patreon. So you can click on that just to check out my Patreon page. I do post things on Patreon that I don't post anywhere else. And I want to take this opportunity to really thank my patrons. Thank you so much. You really help me out. So I really appreciate you. Now, what else? Yes, let's go to the astrology report, shall we? Hello and welcome to the astrology section of your reading for November the 11th through November the 17th. And wow, that's all I can say. Listen, the full moon in Taurus on Tuesday is only the tip of the iceberg. We have all this dynamic celestial sky this week. Some really wonderful aspects are happening this week. Now, I'll start with some of the exact aspects and when they're happening, and then I'll go on to what's going on with the full moon. So Monday, November the 11th, the sun is conjunct Mercury. That means it's right next to Mercury, right? Very close. Tuesday, we have the full moon in Taurus, and we have Mars sextile Jupiter. That's a beautiful harmonious aspect going on there. Wednesday the 13th, we have Mercury trine Neptune. That's also a lovely harmonious connection between the two planets. And Thursday, November the 14th, Venus is square Neptune. That is a challenging aspect. We also have other energies and aspects that are moving into place or moving out of place. So they all play a role actually in the celestial sky. So let's start with the full moon in Taurus, shall we? The full moon, as most of you know, is when the moon is opposite the sun, and it's actually the sun's reflection that illuminates the moon. So with the moon in Taurus, and that means with the moon in Taurus, the sun is in Scorpio because they're opposite each other on the wheel, right, in the chart. The moon is exalted in Taurus, which means that it can express itself fully. So the moon is nurturing, magnetic, feminine. And in Taurus, the moon is good-natured, generous, and loyal. There's a tendency for being emotionally connected to one's values and material possessions, and a strong need for security, right? Material security. At the same time as this full moon, the moon is in a harmonious aspect to Pluto. Now, this creates an energy of sensitivity and intense emotional feelings. It's a being absorbed with interpersonal relationships, of being coveted over one's emotions and feelings. We want to kind of hide that. We don't want that out in the open. At the same time, I am displaying the chart of the full moon, so maybe you can follow along with some of the things that I'm saying, and you can get a picture of what's going on too. For those of you who understand charts. Now, so it brings in intuition and psychic ability. The moon's relationship with Pluto, and it can give you a strong look. It's being able to read people and recognize inauthenticity. We can see through people. We know when someone's not being authentic. And it can give you a strong will and focus to accomplish goals with which to manifest your dreams. This is like a dream creating full moon, right? We can create our dreams. We can manifest our dreams. We can make them real. It can also bring up control issues. So we need to be mindful of the urge to control situations and or people. It can be expressed through us being a bit bossy, perhaps, during this transit. It is also worth mentioning that the moon at the same time is kind of in a loose, harmonious aspect with Neptune, which further enhances our psychic and intuitive abilities. It can also give us a really deep appreciation for music, art, and nature. We also need to be mindful not to sacrifice ourselves for others, and keep a firm grip on reality, because Neptune can skew our perceptions of what's really going on. However, Saturn is connecting harmoniously to Neptune and to the moon, so there is some structure and discipline to bring ideas into tangible creations. So we just want to make sure that we're not compromising ourselves for others. And if we focus on our creativity, we can really bring things to life. Now, the sun in Scorpio is right next to Mercury, which brings in creative thinking and energetic communication with a bigger picture view. So because Mercury is still in retrograde, there can be some misunderstandings, but they can easily be rectified because of all these positive, wonderful aspects that are going on. Now, the Sun and Mercury have also have a harmonious connection to Pluto and Saturn, somewhat to a bit lesser of a degree, which brings in the need to be recognized for one's accomplishments, for being in the spotlight. And the concentration is on speech and communications, yet again. So this sets the stage for shrewdness in business and negotiations. Now, that's a wonderful aspect. And then listen, that's not all. The Sun and Mercury are also harmoniously connected to Neptune, bringing in creative and visionary talents. So it's amazing for literary accomplishments, particularly writing, fantasy, poetry, or even in the visual arts. Any creative project will, take off and will really work. So now also, I'm finished yet, guys. Mars is sextile Jupiter. Now, this is a wonderful, confident energy, abundant energy. It's like we're energized, right? Feeling really excited and confident about ourselves and really good luck in materialism with a penchant for higher learning or spiritual studies in alignment, perhaps. And long distance travel is also on the table with this aspect. Perhaps you're going on a long trip or you're planning one. You may be contemplating a spiritual retreat even in a remote location. So an optimistic nature with a love of freedom and independence is the underlying beautiful energy of that aspect. Now, then on Thursday, we move into Venus square Neptune, but all these aspects are kind of happening all week simultaneously, right? So it's kind of a big mishmash. You have to kind of choose you have the power to choose your energy and how you want to direct it. Now, Venus is square Neptune, and that's a challenging aspect. It brings in issues of self-esteem, confidence, and insecurities. So if you have a poor self-image during this transit, you may have a distorted view of your partner or your date if it's a new, or your acquaintance if it's a new relationship. You may see relationships in an odd way. Perhaps you have an idealistic romantic storybook vision of relationships, which can lead you to ignore red flags when you meet someone new. You could get taken advantage of, become a doormat in a relationship. If the relationship is rocky already, if it's on firm ground, I think you'll be able to move through this aspect pretty unscathed. But if it's new and it's a bit rocky, then, you could kind of, become the doormat, or worse, allow inappropriate behavior in some way. It's important to practice acceptance and the love of oneself during this time, and I would look at this aspect also creates a heightened need for love and affection. So I would resist the urge to commit or to trust someone until after this transit. Focus instead on building self-esteem and self-respect and confidence. All right, guys. So I told you that's like major this week, right? So without further ado, let's go to your tarot reading, shall we? Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your reading for November the 11th through November the 17th. And what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Pisces for this coming week? May these cards be filled with love, abundance, and hope. 3 cards for Pisces, please. 3 cards for Pisces. 2 more cards for Pisces, please. 2 more cards. Oh, 1 more card. Oh, let me make sure. Yes. Oh, wait. No, we've got 3. There was 2 there. There was 1 hiding under the other. We already have 3 cards. There is a crossover here, guys. So check out your sun, moon, and rising. Now we have the clarifying cards for Pisces. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can we give Pisces for November the 11th through November the 17th through these clarifying cards? May these cards be filled with love, abundance, and hope for Pisces. Please clarify. Oh, there's 2. Okay. Please clarify. Oh, yes. Oh, gosh. Okay, we're going to do this. There you go. And please clarify. There it is. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's go to your cards right now. Let's take a look at your cards, Pisces. Okay. Oops, that's a little too. There you go. Okay, so the first card out for you is the Chariot, clarified by the Hierophant and the Three of Cups. Then you have the Nine of Pentacles, clarified by the Moon. And then you have the Queen of Swords, clarified by the Five of Swords. Okay. Okay, the first card out for you, Pisces, is the Chariot. The Chariot indicates that you've kind of had a really difficult time of it recently. This indicates a journey, a difficult journey, like balancing act, really, having to pay attention to all kinds of things that come in your path, and you've got to control this. You have to have focus and determination to complete this journey. But this journey ends in victory and triumph. So this is a victorious and triumphant journey, but it's one that's been very difficult. It's not easy. This journey has not been easy. So look, clarifying it is, you may be still on this journey, by the way. And it does require focus, because the charioteer is driving this chariot, and there are opposing forces at play here. There's a white sphinx and a black sphinx, or a golden sphinx and a silver sphinx here, but they represent opposite energies. And in the tradition, in a lot of the cards, it'll have like horses running and really fast. So it can mean kind of fast energy, but it does mean that you have to be determined to get to the end. You've got to be focused. You've got to kind of look for the balance, and don't let your eye go off the road for a second, because your chariot can go can just upend and be destroyed. So you want to really be focused, and I say that that's really important, to stay focused. Now, this journey may be, sorry, my nose is going 10 to the dozen. It means that spirit is here. This journey is really exhausting, right? But the Hierophant is coming in, so you trust and have faith that everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen. Be determined, stay the course. Look, when you've ended the journey, don't sit on your laurels. Keep the momentum going. You're not to kind of sit back and say, oh, thank God that's over. Let me watch the telly, eat bonbons, lie on the couch. No, you have to keep the momentum going. Because it's really going to play out well for you. So you've got to have faith, and you've got to trust that things are going to work out triumphantly and victoriously. And you've got the Three of Cups. This is celebrate. I want to sing celebrate. Da, 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 da. This is about, look, don't forget to have fun. Yes, you've got this difficult journey. Yes, you have to focus, but you've also got to have fun. Don't forget, life is supposed to be enjoyed. So take a moment, take a respite, go out with the girls, kick off your heels, go out with the guys, whatever it is, just go and enjoy yourself and celebrate the magic in every moment. Oh, nose. And the next card out for you is the Nine of Pentacles, another celebratory card, darling. The Nine of Pentacles is, look, she's got all the money. It's all come down. All the coins are down. They're not up. They're, some are on the side, but she's really living in opulence. She's enjoying her wealth. She's flaunting her wealth. The only thing I would say about this is that sometimes, our wealth goes up and it goes down. It's not that your income can fluctuate, but guess what? You might have an unexpected bill and that might come out and then you spend. So don't overspend, don't overdo anything. That's what I would say right now. And look, you've got the full moon, darling. I feel that, look, she's number 9. She's almost at the finish line. I feel that something is going to come to an culmination. The full moon is all about, it's all about manifesting wealth. It's all about security, material security. It's all about gathering more wealth. It's about feeling secure. And the full moon, when it's a full moon, it's kind of an ending, a completion. Something is coming to it. Maybe a job is coming to a completion and you're being paid well. Something is coming up for you. This is very nurturing energy. So you're nurturing that security that you long for right now. And things are coming to a culmination. So I feel that it's time to celebrate the end of the journey, perhaps, right? You're feeling like you've arrived, this is a great feeling. And then you have the next card is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is about, she's in this particular, she sees through to a person's soul. She's not because she's intuitive, but because she studied people and she knows them really well. So she knows when they're not being authentic. She knows when they're full of baloney, right? She knows it. She doesn't take, she just cuts right through the crap. And she is all about telling the truth, right? She can be, she represents the intellect, communication. She can be, this can be an opportunity, a business opportunity, perhaps a partner that's kind of unusual that you wouldn't normally associate with, but somebody that will really bring something astute and intelligent to the table and a good opportunity. But I have a feeling that there is conflict here. So the Queen of Swords can cause conflict just because she's just, she's the bearer of truth, right? She says things in a very cutting way. She offends people. Her intention isn't really to offend people. She just thinks she's helping them. She's just telling them like it is. But the Five of Swords is a conflict, right? So there is a conflict at hand. And this is about winning the battle no matter what. I'm getting don't shoot the messenger. So you could get into an argument because you've heard this truth and you are defensive and you get, look, the Five of Swords is when an argument or a conflict becomes nasty and personal, insults and that kind of thing, condescending and, talking down to someone, and making them feel humiliated or embarrassed. He's like got all the swords, he's taken them away. They're walking away with their heads down because he's just humiliated them. And he's sneering at them. He's kind of getting joy out of that. But what he's actually doing is isolating himself. So he has and she's very isolated, the Queen of Swords, because she's a businesswoman, but she's all about business. She's all about the next deal. She is not a companion. She's not she's kind of isolated. She's out there on her own, fending for herself, and she's totally fine with that. But there must be a part of her that misses that companionship and that love and that connection, right? And that's what this is. It's an argument that you have to win no matter what, at whatever cost it is. But what it's going to do is isolate you. So this is about resisting the urge to personally insult someone, and don't shoot the messenger, because this can be the impetus for getting into this conflict, right? Resist the urge to be defensive, and sometimes you need to kind of take a minute and listen to this message and take what you can, own what you can, look at the truth for what it is, and let go of the rest. Look, the way she delivers it isn't in pretty bows, and it's not that great, but I'm sure it will be helpful. Resist the urge to get into this nasty conflict where you end up insulting the other person, because you'll end up alone. And that you do not want to. You don't want to isolate yourself and be alone. Pisces, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, social media. I'm almost at 10K, guys. Help me get over that big, hurdle, that 10K hurdle. And comment. That also helps my channel grow, and I always respond to every comment, and I welcome feedback. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.